Hi, it's Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Look, this is part two of a multi part series, and we try and keep these short so that you can go through them at your leisure. We're going to put them in their own playlist, and that playlist is going to be called Prepare to Come to the Philippines. That being said, I want you to understand that we really appreciate you being here and we really appreciate your comments because we can add, change, and address different things. People are very, very different. And because they're different, it means that some of this applies and some of it does not. And you have to really understand it. But let's explain to you what we've got going on here. So let's talk about it.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. The first thing is most importantly, we're not going to do this. This is not a budget video. This is not about a budget. All right? You're nowhere near prepared. We find that most people coming to the Philippines are not prepared for a budget yet. Now, if you've been here, you've tried some things out, you've come and gone, all of those things apply. But when you're going to be living here, when you're coming to live, this is how you start, in our opinion. Now, we're not telling you what you got to do. You can do it any way you want, and people do, and they're happy. But let's get moving here. Number two, all right, please do subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, these will be in a playlist along with all of the other stuff. Our trips to Thailand, Bohol, Boracay, everything else. We're pretty well-rounded individuals. We're not narcissists and we're not egoists. We're just normal people, Arlen and I are. That being said, we're just trying to give you some advice, or at least to give you some ideas to generate your own questions. So please do subscribe and hit that thumbs up. That really helps a lot. All right, now this is part two, and pretty soon we'll start labeling them. We're going to go through everything from what you need to think about to what's necessary to creating what you need to build an allowance, and then your banking, your money transfers, everything that goes along with coming here. All of the things that you're going to really need. So let's get going and let's take a look at part two because it's a definition. And well, you know what? We'll just leave it at what it is. Okay. In order for you to know where you're going to go, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, you've got to have an allowance. All right? You've got to know how much money you can spend. So we were talking in the previous one, and I'm going to put it up here, or I'm going to try, and I'll put a link below about an allowance. How much money are you going to have at your disposal? So we've categorized that into fixed expenses and variable expenses, and I want to go through the fixed expenses again. I want to try and make you understand. So rent is going to vary depending on your situation. And what I mean by your situation is are you coming over sight unseen? You don't know where you're going to live. You don't know how you're going to live. You know what? You still need to have an idea because you're going to be transitory. You don't know where your final destination is. But put a figure in there, all right, as to what you think it's going to be in your Airbnb or in your rental or hotels or whatever, so that until you get to where you're going, then you apply, all right, the rent. Now, are you going to rent or are you going to buy? All right. Well, this is a little bit more progressive, but it's something to consider. Now, owning a home, unless it's under extremely, extremely limited situations, a foreigner cannot own land. So you could buy a house, but we'll talk about that, but you don't own the land the house is under, like long-term leases, things like that as well. All right. But what about condos? Condos can be great investments, but they're not for everybody. In fact, what I would say is that owning your own place may very well not be a good thing. All right. It may not work for you. You may find 3 years down the road you don't like living there anymore. And the resales are very, very slow for higher end stuff. I mean, there are just less people that can afford it. And you don't have the financial backing of a major corporation to give out your own loans. So that's a big deal. And then there's the time value of money. And I may do a video on this, but think of it really easily. And I'm not trying to be an egoist here, okay? But what I am trying to, or an elitist, what I am trying to say is this. There are people coming here with a large sum of money at their disposal, and people coming here with less than. All right, that's fine. Whatever makes you happy. But if you put $150,000 or $200,000 in back home in the U.S. into a guaranteed safe certificate of deposit at a 5% annual return, all right, you'll cover your rent without touching a dime of your money every year in many instances. Okay? Now, we'll talk about this in another time, but it is what it is. Your visa, we've already gone into that. You're going to have to go through all these different things. We'll have another video on visas, right? Healthcare. Healthcare is it's a double-edged sword as well. One of the things to consider in healthcare is, are you going to self-insure or are you going to have your own insurance? Okay? Guam is only a 4-hour flight. We highly recommend that you always keep your Medicare. Always keep your Medicare. There are many Medicare approved providers, and Medicare is widely accepted in Guam. Hang on to it. The vehicle. You know what? One of the things I didn't add, and one of our commenters, Ruby, who is a wealth of information, she's an incredibly smart young lady, pointed out that I left out. I didn't leave it out so much as I just simply said, hey, everybody knows this. But so I didn't. Vehicle. Don't forget, you've got to get your vehicle inspected and you've got to get it registered. And you'll have to get it inspected every so often, and you'll have to register it every year. You've got to have money. That's a fixed cost if you're going to have that. Now, if you're renting, that's a different story, all right? But then you're going to have the rental fees, all right? Now, cell phones. We're going to have to do an entire video on cell phones. We made a major error, and I'm going to go through that when I do the cell phone video. So when you subscribe and you hit that thumbs up, hit the bell as well so that you're notified when our next videos come up. And, we'll be doing probably one a week on this particular subject. Internet. You're going to have internet, whether it's going to be through your phone, whether it's going to be through your place of residence, or both. Either way, it has to take place. So these are some of these items. what we're doing is we're going through and we're going to go through all of this, and we're going to bunch it down into multiple videos, like I said. So we hope you found this good. We hope you understand that it's just a lot of material, and planning is incredibly important. If you do it right, if you do everything you need to do the correct way or as close to correct, then your chances of success are much higher. Otherwise, we hope you're having a great day. We love your comments and we appreciate you coming. Thanks.